best acoustic guitars quality price. On this occasion, I will show you different models of acoustic guitar from different brands with the best quality price ratio, from models for beginners to guitars for advanced players. This way, you will be able to learn about some of the most popular manufacturers and their different types and categories. This guide will help you to adapt the model to your needs and personal taste, taking into account the money you want to invest. The acoustic guitars as we know them today were developed by the American manufacturer C.F. Martin & Company. So I'll start by showing the American brands with the best quality price ratio, such as the Guild brand, one of the American manufacturers which is an institution as a manufacturer of acoustic guitars. In this brand, we can find high-end models manufactured in the United States, but also more economical series such as the Guild A20 Bob Marley in classic dreadnought style for a very controlled price of around $370. This guitar has a slightly wider nut width of 44.5mm instead of the classic 43mm nut width. Something to keep in mind, as this may benefit some guitarists, but may be detrimental to others. This brand can also offer us a jumbo model like the spectacular Guild F240E for around $430, with a Fishman GT1 pickup system with volume and tone control, and this one with a standard nut width of 43mm. Also in a 12-string jumbo version, we have the Guild F2512E for a price of around $500. Another American brand, but this one much more modern, is the manufacturer Sire Guitars. A brand with an unstoppable trajectory thanks to its excellent models, with very tight profit margins. For example, the Larry Carlton A3D model features classic acoustic guitar woods such as spruce, mahogany or rosewood for the bridge and fingerboard, but its price is a surprising $320. In addition, this model has an integrated preamplifier system. The Larry Carlton A3G is priced at around $340, has a cutaway, and is a grand auditorium size. We could say that it is a slightly smaller jumbo model, or in other words, it would be a dreadnought size but with a different shape. The top range is the one referred to as A4, also with two models and prices around $500. At the moment, the brand is not developing more models given its short history, but we already know that the best-selling acoustic guitar model is the dreadnought, as in the case of the Larry Carlton A3D. Walden is another company founded in the United States of recent creation, in which we can find, for example, the most economical dreadnought model at only $240 in price. In 400 series, we have the same model with a superior quality standard for $320. And in 500 series, the prices are around $450 for the 6-string models and $500 for the 12-string model. These would be the most affordable series, but we can continue to invest more money in our purchase progressively in 600, 700 and 800 models. This last series costs around $900. We would only have 2 more series left. The 2000 series with a cost of more than $1,000, and the 3000 series with prices that exceed $1,200. We move on to the Fender brand. You might think that any guitar with this name engraved on the headstock would be expensive. But that is not the case with some of their acoustic guitar series, such as the incredible FA models like the Fender FA 125 for $140. And an electroacoustic version for around $190. Or the CD series like the Fender CD60 for a surprising $140. We can also get the electroacoustic model with cutaway for around $270. If we needed a jumbo model, one of the most interesting options is the Epiphone J200 EC Studio for around $540. A very reasonable price for an instrument of this size, with a cutaway, superb finishes, and also electroacoustic. On the other hand, if we need a smaller folk-style guitar, we can opt for the Epiphone L00 Studio. This model also has a Fishman Sonotone preamp for a price of less than $400. In the Epiphone brand, we can also find standard models, such as the Epiphone J45 EC Studio with a Fishman Pressis pickup system. A model with cutaway and other distinguished finishes such as double binding on the soundboard and on the sides of the fingerboard, for a controlled cost of $370. The Tanglewood brand was founded in England at the end of the 20th century. This manufacturer develops products from high-end to very economical series, such as the Crossroads, with many models priced under $200. The Blackbird and Roadster 2 series raised the bar a little higher, with models between $200 and $300. But there are numerous ranges in which we can find different finishes at progressive prices, which adapt perfectly to our budget, such as the more than interesting Tanglewood DBT DHR Discovery for around $320. The South Korean brand Cort is another of the most outstanding options for purchasing an acoustic guitar, with very reasonable prices for the quality of its products. Like the Cort AD810 for an affordable $130. Or the Earth series like the Cort Earth 70 OP for around $280. And also, in a 12-string version like the Cort AD810-12 for less than $200. Or MR series with its electroacoustic models like the Cort MR600F with cutaway for around $320. Obviously, Japanese brands also have a lot to say in this regard when it comes to acoustic guitars. One of these highly rated brands, with a long history and a well-known reputation in the manufacture of musical instruments, is the Yamaha Corporation. This brand has the F series, in which we can find some of its models aimed mainly at beginners, such as the Yamaha F310. One of its most popular models due to its unbeatable quality-price ratio, like the Yamaha F370. A model that has different and attractive finishes at a very interesting price. The FX series would be similar to the previous one, but in an electroacoustic version, like the Yamaha FX310 for around $260. The models with cutaway are detailed with a final C in the product name, like the FX370C. And with a reduced size concert-type body for greater comfort like the FSX315C. We raise the bar a little higher, and we find the FG series like the FG800. One of the most legendary series from Yamaha, since this model has been in production since 1966. In addition, it has a very interesting price. In this series, the same thing would happen as in the previous one, in terms of reference C for the models with cutaway, and the X review for the electroacoustic models. Obviously, the price would increase progressively as we add these improvements, or if we move on to higher models such as the FG820 or FG830. In this series, we can also find 12-string models such as the FG820-12 at a fairly controlled price for an instrument of this style and category. And for the youngest members of the family, or for use as a travel guitar, we have the 3/4 JR models with a scale of just over 21 inches. We continue with Japanese manufacturers, such as the historic brand Ibanez. The PF series is among its most affordable models, such as the Ibanez PF15 for around $190. And the Ibanez PF15 ECE in electroacoustic version with cutaway for around $270. If you are wondering why the same guitar with cutaway is a bit more expensive, it is because manufacturing the instrument with this feature is a bit more complicated. This same model can be found without a cutaway in a 12-string version even cheaper than the previous one. A model that could be among the best possible purchases that we can find in this guitar format. If we require a little more quality, we have the AV series, but without having to make an exorbitant investment. We move on to one of the most prestigious Japanese brands in terms of acoustic guitar construction, Takamine. One of their most affordable series would be the G10 models with a dreadnought body shape, like the Takamine Grand 10N, for around $240. or the GN series with the original NEX body shape and characteristic of the Takamine brand for a modest $330. A modest price for this guitar, since their models usually cost over $600. Both the GD10 and the GN10 can also be found in an electroacoustic version for around $350. Something I wanted to point out is that acoustic guitars typically come factory-made with a raised saddle height to enhance the instrument's volume. But most of the time, the saddle allows for more precise string height adjustment. So it never hurts to have your new acoustic guitar checked by a professional in case other types of adjustments, such as nut height, are necessary. If we do not have a luthier near our locality, we can ask the company that will sell us the guitar if it is possible that they themselves are in charge of making a complete revision of the instrument before sending it to us. If you want to delve deeper into the characteristics of the different types of acoustic guitars, I leave you a link below that deals with the subject.